Infospot 411 YouTube channel, The Late Night Show. Well, I got to start this off and say a big thank you to all subscribers. Man, I just broke 1,000 subscribers. And then a day later, I was around 1,200 to 1,400. Just crazy. Thank you, everybody. Coming on the live here tonight with me, as well as if you're watching this a week from now or whatever. I truly appreciate it, man. It's awesome. Over 1,000 subscribers. How cool is that, man? And it's all because of you guys. Where am I here? Oh, before I get to the topics, I was going to come on earlier with my live. However, I had an issue with my webcam. And I thought the whole thing was gone and it crashed. So I go to Myers and Walmart. Then the Best Buy was closed. I went to like 4 different stores and they were all out of webcams. But I guess with this back to school and everybody doing online classes and work from home, a couple people I spoke to said that these webcams are selling up quick. The one guy at Walmart says, yeah, it was like a week ago. They got about 5 or 6 in and they were gone in just a couple days. They're going quick. Whoa. So I guess I'd have to order one offline. Anyway, I did get my webcam back working. I found my old software CD, reinstalled it, ran my antivirus, and stuff happens. What are you going to do, huh? Any rate, I got some really great topics here. I'm telling you some stuff to talk about. Major change. You know, I've mentioned on my show before, yes, there's racist people and racist groups in America. However, I don't feel America's racist. And this is a big step here. If you haven't heard this, it just was breaking news today, is the state of Mississippi, their state flag has always had for years the Confederate flag in the corner of it. They call it the stars and bars on their state flag. Well, they finally made a vote. Life Anaya, thank you for coming. I got some big breaking news here. Okay, no problem. I'll be right here. Appreciate you coming. So anyway, the Confederate flag that is on the state of Mississippi state flag, you can Google it. It's like in the upper left-hand corner. Yeah, that's what's going on. He's denying it, but yeah, I found that kind of interesting because I'm reading different how should I say, from the Associated Press, depending where you get it, and some people saying he didn't, and then some news articles are confirming it and the way he walked. So he is up there in the 70s, you know, like Joe Biden's up there in his years too. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, people get old. What are you going to do? But I do have some big news. The Confederate flag has been removed from the state of Mississippi. That means the Mississippi state flag will no longer have the Confederate flag on it. This is great news. And if you see my thumbnail, this is the new state of Mississippi state flag that's coming. Yes, it used to be on the state of Georgia flag years ago, and they removed it. And anyway, I'm going to get into that as my first topic and discussion point. What does the Confederate flag mean? The Confederate flag was it was for the southern states during the Civil War. Well, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to get to that. Life Anaya. Give me just about a minute here. I just go over these my stuff for the show here, and I'll get right to it. That's going to be our first discussion tonight. You're going to want to hear this. Okay, next up, this is passed through a lot of the mainstream media, but you're going to hear it here on InfoSpot. Yes, you are. From Reuters, McDonald's discrimination against black franchisees lawsuit. So a lot of the black franchisees owners, the franchisees let me stop and slow this down. This is a tongue twister. Black franchise owners of McDonald's are filing a major lawsuit. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to give you the story here. And it's unbelievable that I had to get this from Reuters, a British Associated Press. By the way, the racist thing isn't my option. Yeah, I'm going to get to it. Give me 1 minute, life and I just want to go over a few things here. Rest in peace to Officer Tamaris Bohannon in St. Louis, young black police officer shot in the line of duty and killed. I'll go over that news story. Venus Williams lost in the first round for the very first time, but she is 40 years old. I'm going to get into it. And then this was kind of an interesting story. In New Jersey, a homeowner is being charged for having a for-profit pool party with 300 unmasked guests. Hosting. I'm about to say hoisting like you're hoisting a flag, but it's hosting. I'm sorry, it's been a long day for me. Okay, last up, and I'm going to get to our topic, Life Anaya. This is something kind of cool and fun to talk about. As I was thinking of some different things to take a break from the news. The 20 most popular websites so far in 2020. One of them was a little surprise for me. I'm going to go over it. The most popular websites here in 2020. So without further ado, let me set this aside. And thank you for coming. Show. Oh, hi. Thank you for coming. Okay, here we go. Commission chooses Mississippi state flag design. But let me get to the chat first, and I'll read this news article. And it's getting all over the Associated Press and news media. I got this from ABC affiliate WAPT, and they're out of Mississippi. But let me get to a comment here, Life Anaya. By the way, the racist flag thing isn't my opinion. I generally don't know what the Confederate flag is and its meaning. I've heard it's for racists. Okay, I'll address that right now, Life Anaya, before we get into this, because that deals directly with what we're talking about. Servant David, thank you for coming. Blessings to you too, sir. Big news, if you didn't hear. The last state that had the Confederate flag on it was Mississippi, and is going bye-bye. That is the flag in my thumbnail, will be the new state of Mississippi flag. Yes. Done. Yeah, we don't frenzy Funzy, we don't want to type done, because that gets viewed as a spam word unless it's used in a contents of a sentence. Anyway, to address your question, yes. Okay, the Confederate flag in itself is not racist. There are racist people and racist groups who use that and symbolize it because it was used by, okay, no problem, thanks. Racist groups and racist people have used, and they do use, the Confederate flag, because the Confederate flag is the Stars and Bars flag, and that's the flag that the Confederate Army used during the Civil War. So when the Southern states split from the country, when Lincoln was elected, that was the flag that they used. Hello, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. So anyway, the flag itself is not racist, but a lot of racist people have used that flag to symbolize, the Southern Army and the Confederacy, I should say, the Confederacy. And the Confederacy in the whole Civil War was about slavery. And I'll address this issue with that and the Confederate flag here to give you good understanding. Some people are going to give you a line of BS, and they're going to try to tell you the Civil War is about states' rights, which is just utter nonsense, okay? And I'll explain it really briefly here. Before the Civil War started, when Lincoln was elected, the problem was the Southern Democrats, it was in the Congress, okay? And the Northern politicians, all right? The biggest argument they kept having was when the expansion of states like Missouri, not Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, Kansas, I think it was Nebraska. But anyway, pre-Civil War, there was free states and slave states. And so the Southern Democrats, they fought tooth and nail within Congress. Would it be a free state? Would it be a slave state? And they went back and forth, and Missouri became a slave state. And there was, I think it was Kansas was a free state. So that was the main thing that led up to after Lincoln was elected, because it was a threat to slave labor in the South. The South, they didn't even get the cotton gins right yet. Those weren't even coming about till around like the middle of the Civil War towards the end. So yeah, the Civil War was off slavery. Now, the Confederate flag, I'll give you an example where it's not a racist thing. Let's say you go to the Gettysburg National Park where the infamous Civil War battle was, and they have the Confederate flag up there, or you go to the Smithsonian and they show Jefferson, a thing about Jefferson Davis and General Lee and the Confederates, and it's learning from history. That's not in a racist tone. I don't necessarily agree with some people use the Confederate flag down south, and they claim it's Southern pride. You know, I always believed in American pride. I mean, but I have been a Northerner all my life. I remember when I went in the Army, I was called a Yankee, and I was like, isn't this term obsolete from 200 years ago? But I feel the Confederate flag does not belong in any state flag. If someone has whatever rhyme or reason they want to have that flag and wave it, yeah, it is their constitutional right to do so. But I think this is something awesome. We get this thing off the state of Mississippi flag. They did it in Georgia. Bye. Let me check the chat, and I'm going to read you the article here. Yes, I am. They can say bye-bye to all the flags, statues, erect that they want to, but until hate and wrong is removed from the mind and the heart, we forever be. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Servant David. Oh, thank you for coming, Schindler Elevator 2000. Also, slavery is not just the selling of people, except there are also mental slavery, economical slavery, open flow. I agree with you somewhat to a point on that, Servant David. When may come up here, when slavery is total loss of freedom, and it's you have to do whatever, you know, the master says or whoever is under control of you. Like right now, current day, the majority of slavery is Africans enslaving Africans. There's countries in Africa right now where there's slavery going on. But what I want to keep this to is our history of what happened with the slavery, as well as the topic right now is they're taking the Confederate flag, also known as the Stars and Bars. They're taking that off the state of Mississippi state flag. Let me read this news article here first, okay, from a ABC affiliate in the state of Mississippi. And then we'll get into the discussion here. The Mississippi Flag Commission chose Wednesday between the Magnolia flag, and that's what I have here on my thumbnail, design, and a shield design. Some of the nine is the number 9. Commission members debated whether to delay the vote so they could poll Mississippi voters to determine which design is preferred, because Wednesday was the deadline. Based on what the ballots must be printed, the commission went forward with the vote. The Magnolia design was chosen in 8-1 over the shield design, and that's what's in my template. And I will get to the chat. I'm just going to finish reading this, guys, real quick. Some slight changes have been made in the flag design, including making the front "In God We Trust" in bold. So that's one thing they agreed upon, both designs. They wanted "In God We Trust" on the flag, which was based on advanced flag makers. The flag has also been renamed In God We Trust flag. So that's what it's going to be referred to as. The state of Mississippi flag will be also referred to as in the God We Trust flag. If voters accept the design, it will become the new state flag. If they reject it, the design process will start again, and Mississippi will remain a state without a flag for a while longer. Almost done here. Legislatures retired the old flag under pressure of 2 months ago amid the backdrop of the widespread protest over racial injustice. The new Magnolia flag was a result of a design submitted by 3 Mississippi residents. It was one of thousands of designs submitted by the public to the Mississippi Department of History and Archives. And I printed it up here, so I'm just going to put this in the camera and I'll get right to the chat, everybody. I'm going to kind of tilt this because it'll get a little glare from the light. Now, granted, I didn't use that nice copy paper, the thick stuff, for pictures. This is just regular copy paper, but let me get my pen. This is the Magnolia right in the middle, and then it might be hard to read this, but this is In God We Trust and the stars, and it'll have the yellow and the blue. This will be the new Mississippi state flag. The old one, which they've had for years, had that Confederate flag up in the corner. So yeah, I think this is a great step in the right direction. Let me get to the chat here, and we'll talk about this. Heaviest. Okay, we differ. Oh, that's fine. We're both opinions. I love conversation, and I beg to differ, host. The heaviest form of slavery in modern days is economic slavery. Well, yeah, I mean that's opinion. When I refer to the majority of slavery is Africans enslaving Africa in Africa right now, which is a fact. There's no economics for them. They're given food and what shelter is given to them, period. That's it. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from with economic slavery in the sense that, like a lot of people say, hey, a lot of us are just slaves to our employer and our boss. And, we're forced to have to work 40 hours a week to pay the bills. And a lot of us are really getting screwed over in a sense, with the capitalism, where it's the few people at the top that are making out like bandits and prospering, in the middle class and in the poor. We're just giving whatever crumbs we get. I get that. But when I refer, in my opinion, I'm not saying, hey, I'm right, you're wrong. Just my opinion is, when I refer to slavery and look at it, and then I say the modern day slavery, which the majority is in Africa right now, these are people, they have total loss of freedom. They're not getting any money, nothing. They get their food and whatever what is given to them. And that was the same when we had slavery here in America. Black people were slaves in the country of Iran up until the 1920s. Yeah, a lot of slave trade went through the Middle East. It doesn't get talked about much. They always, bring up Europe and America, which, yeah, we have the ugly past along with some of the greatness that we do here in America. But, yeah. Anyway, let me check the chat. Oh, Raul, yes, I can see you. Can you see me, InfoSpot? Yep. Get me 2K. Get me 2K. Give me 2,000. Yeah, we don't ask for, a number of subscribers per se. We do network, no host. We're just kicking back, drinking, Snapple, and have. Yes, we are. Yeah. One thing, Servant David, what I like too is, I like good conversation, and two, good conversation is having a disagreement once in a while. I find it kind of boring if you say something and somebody's always, Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I agree with you. I agree with you. And two, sometimes you got to wonder, a lot of times people won't agree. They just say that, they don't want a little confrontation, but I never see this confrontation. The only thing I'll do where I cut it off, Servant David, is when somebody gets personal. Like we can disagree, and you're more than welcome. You want to bring up facts, statistics, good common logic, and put it in the chat. Say, Ed, I disagree with you on this point and this point, and here's why. Man, that's healthy discussion. That's healthy debate, and it's a great thing. Now, what I don't like, and I won't go for, is when someone, let's say, will say, Ed, you're an idiot, you don't know nothing, or you've been in Detroit too long, or you're white, you don't know jack squat, blah, blah, blah. When people make stuff personal like that, it's usually because they've lost the argument, and some people really get emotional, on certain topics, like especially race is one that's right there with religion and politics. But yeah, I'm always open to healthy debate for sure. Hey, host, after the LS, can I borrow that? Oh, the shirt. Yeah, this is thanks. I just have this on because I got these bright lights coming on me, and then I've had a long day. This is the Michigan State Spartans shirt. I'm a Spartans fan. Our two big schools in Michigan are the Wolverines, which is University of Michigan, and they're the Blue and Maize, they refer to it. And the other school is the Green and White, the Michigan State Spartans, and then our capital, Lansing, and it's right here, the S for the Spartans. Thank you, yo. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I think that this is a good thing. Here, the new flag, the Magnolia flag. No more stars and bars. I just, I have no problem in me personally. I embrace American history. I don't want to, I choose not to live as a victim in the past. And that's where I disagree with some people on things. But is that Confederate flag, it just symbolizes the Confederacy and what they were fighting for. I even have a hard time with the argument about, Southern pride. There's a number of things you could do with Southern pride. I don't, see having the Confederate flag on the state of Mississippi flag as something that's Southern pride. I see it as something else. And I think it's time we move on. It's not to say that we need to wipe out all our history with the Civil War, why it happened, who fought in it. And, I have no problem. Everybody has the constitutional right in America. If someone chooses to go out in their front yard and put a Confederate flag, over their porch, hey, that's their right to do so. I would not. But as far as a flag that symbolizes a state, Georgia got it right years ago, and they took that Confederate flag off, and I think Mississippi did, and it's good. The only thing that I'm a little bit how should I say, concerned, not cautious, but concerned about with this. Okay, let me get a sip of my Snapple, servant. Is I like this. I like things like this to be for the right reasons and not just because of pressure from a group or organization or what's going on with the political climate. Point in case, I would have loved to see this happen 10 years ago, or back in 1990 or the year 2000. Long overdue getting that Confederate flag off the state of Mississippi flag. Now, that's just my opinion. So if someone's watching this live later, you don't get all angry, upset with me. Hey, that's just my opinion, and this is how we roll. Any rate, where my little bit of concern comes in, okay, is that if change is made because of pressure, public pressure, let's say political correctness or pressure from a number of groups or organizations, that you want to be very cautious on, because like I'm going to give you an example. They call it the old slippery slope. What happens, let's say in 5 years, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, has been about this, is they stopped prayer in schools and even their children from having to stand up for the anthem, and teachers having a cross or a crucifix on their desk in a public school. But where I'm going with this is, and I'm going to tie this into my point right now, is that what if 5 years from now they say, hey, you know what? We want In God You Trust off the flag, just like we want it off the money. Because a lot of us, we don't believe in God. The Bible, the Torah, the Quran, they're books of faith, opinion, belief, and it's being forced upon us. This is not my opinion, okay? In a sense with this, but like when you get the American Civil Liberties Union and they represent atheists and people of this is where it could lead to, where they would make that knee-jerk decision to say, you know what, well, we're getting too much backlash from these groups. There's a lot of stink about having In God We Trust on a flag. We need to take it off. But this is what I'm using as an analogy is, I like this type of change to come for the right reasons, not just, because of it being, okay, well, here's what we'll do, because we've been getting so much pressure from these different organizations and groups. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy this thing's coming off the state of Mississippi flag. I truly am. But that's my only slight concern. When change like this happens, I like it to be for the right reasons, that, enough people say, okay, we'll have a vote on this and it's long overdue, not just some group putting pressure, Anyway, I'm going to get to the chat here. I appreciate you guys coming in. Oh, okay. You just want to borrow it. All right. Victory, yay. Thank you for coming. My first topic was, I didn't know if you saw it in the news today, and I think it was a great thing. I won't go over the whole topic again, I should say, but the Confederate flag is officially off the state of Mississippi flag. And you might have heard me talking, but I'll just show this picture one more time before I move on to the next topic. It'll be the Magnolia flag is what they chose. They're calling it here. And it says, In God We Trust, and it's got the, the symbol. But this will be, once it's ratified by the voters in November, this would be the new state of Mississippi state flag. No more Confederate flag on it. So I think it's a great thing. Okay, let me get on to this topic. It's an interesting one. If you're still here with me, Servant David, this, I'm surprised, should be I'm always railing on the mainstream media and Associated Press. McDonald's discriminates against black franchisees, lawsuit claims. What this means is black Americans, okay, who own McDonald franchises are filing a major lawsuit about discrimination. And I got this from Reuters, which is basically it's a major Associated Press. I'm just bringing it in so you can see it. I'll tilt it there. Here we go. Reuters is a major Associated Press, just like the BBC, the Washington Post, and so forth. But let me see this light. Hold on 1 second. I'm just adjusting this light. Seems like I'm not getting... Okay, there we go. Anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, I'm just surprised that this story should be making major headlines like in New York Times, CNN, Fox News, Washington Post. Anyway, let me read this and fill you in, guys, on what's going on here, okay? And anyone watching this live, too. All right, this is from, where's the date on this? It was just a couple days ago. I think it was August 31st. Oh, anyway. Okay, here we go. McDonald's Corporation has been sued by 52 black former franchise owners, I'll just say franchise owners, who accused the fast food giant of racial discrimination by steering them to depressed, crime-ridden neighborhoods and setting them up for failure. In a complaint seeking up to $1 billion in damages, now you see why I said this. Why isn't this making the mainstream media and Associated Press as far as a major headline? Okay, let me finish reading. I'll rant when I'm done here. The plaintiff said McDonald's has not offered profitable restaurant locations and growth opportunities to black franchise on the same terms as white franchise owners. Belaying its public commitment to diversity and black entrepreneurship. The plaintiff said McDonald's saddled them under its standard 20-year franchise agreements with stores requiring high security and insurance costs, and whose $2 million average annual sales from 2011 to 2016 were $700,000 below the nationwide norm. Bankruptcy often resulted, they said. These are the black owners of the franchise, black franchise owners of McDonald's, what they're claiming. It's systematic placement in substandard locations because they're black. The plaintiff's lawyer, Jim Fierro, said in let me go to the next page here, a phone interview. Revenue at McDonald's is governed by one thing only: location. The lawsuit was filed in the federal court in Chicago, where McDonald's is based. McDonald's denied treating black franchisees, that means like franchise owners, differently, or that they were unable to succeed because of discrimination. The plaintiffs sued 5 weeks after McDonald's updated its corporate values, pledging a greater on diversity. More than 90% of McDonald's 14,400 United States restaurants were recently operated by about 1,600 franchise owners. Fierro, that's the attorney representing the black franchisees owners of McDonald's, however, said the number of black franchise owners had fallen to 186 from 377 since 1988. So since 1988, the number of black franchise owners of McDonald's has gone from 377 down to only 186. McDonald's has denied claims in a separate discrimination lawsuit filed by the two black executives in January, also in Chicago. Their allegations include that McDonald's used harsh grading of stores and other strong-arm tactics that drove a disappointing number of black franchise owners out of its system. Anyway, yeah, this is a $1 billion lawsuit. $1 billion. Holy smokes. Now, I'm going to get to the chat in just a minute here. One point that comes to my mind, I'm going to look for with this lawsuit. Now, I do keep in mind, all right, the old saying, there's three sides to a story: his side, her side, and the truth. Okay, so we got to seek out the truth here, because McDonald's is denying it. However, this is a major claim by 52 different black American McDonald's franchise owners about discrimination. My thing with this is what I'm looking for in the future. It'll be the near future, by the time this gets to court. But if McDonald's makes a major settlement, okay, because they're being sued up to $1 billion in damages. So a lot of times what'll happen, McDonald's will send their corporate attorneys in to meet with the gentleman here that have the class action lawsuit, and they'll say, hey, would you be considered coming to a mutual agreement and an offer to sign off on a settlement rather than have to go to court on this? So they say, okay, we're suing for $1 billion. We might take a settlement for $750 million, or let's say $500 million. But a lot of times that is a big sign of guilt, because see, with the settlement, if it goes to a settlement and it just does not go to court, the settlement 9 times out of 10 will have it right in there. Yeah, I'll give you $500 million in cash, and I'll pay this person, that person, I'll pay the attorneys, to be McDonald's. That'll agree to this. But we want paperwork signed right here. You got to sign this that you can't talk about it no longer. other than you can acknowledge the fact that a settlement was reached, and that's it. Done. Well, why do they do that? Because a lot of times they're guilty, and it's a way to silence people and offer that big money. But I'm going to be interested. Is there going to be a settlement on this major discrimination case, or will this go to court? And I'm willing to hear McDonald's side. Just because somebody's accused of something in a civil lawsuit, it's no different than when someone's arrested of something. When someone's arrested, they're not guilty of SHIT. All right. That only means that the law enforcement agency has had enough probable cause, and the prosecutor office agrees, whether it's a local, state, or federal, to say, hey, we believe so-and-so committed a crime. So getting back to this lawsuit, that's what I'm going to be curious to look at in the near future. Will McDonald's make a major lawsuit? This is $1 billion. This ain't some chump change. I could see if, let's say, this was one black franchise owner, McDonald's, and he was sued for $2 million, McDonald's might just say, hey, you sign a settlement not to talk about this. We'll give you $2 million, hit the road, Jack, if there's a really good case. This is going to get interesting. Will McDonald's fork over? I don't know. Maybe that attorney be a stickler, say, hey, I'll sign this settlement. I want $1 billion, period. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to pay close attention. It probably won't be any time quite in the near future, meaning October, November, but probably by this winter, when there'll be more news about this major discrimination lawsuit against McDonald's. Does it a settlement, or is this sucker going to court? So that'd be interesting. But boy, if this is true, this is a damn shame. And in groups, whether it's, and I don't necessarily agree with everything they do, but I'm saying whether it's like the BLM and some of these other groups, that is to come together and say, hey, boycott McDonald's. If these allegations are true, wow. So yeah, it's see what catches my eye with this news story too. Since 1998, 377 black franchise owners of McDonald's has dropped to 186. That number should be going up, not down. Wow. So are you guys I see two people here. I just want to make sure my chat's still working. I just put it in. If you're here and you can hear me, just put a thumbs up or something in the chat. I had an issue, by the way, before I leave the topic. I think it was last week I did a late night show, and it was just all of a sudden my chat just wasn't showing anything in my live chat. But when I went back and reviewed it, I saw all the people's comments. I was doing that Price is Right game, so. But I only see two people on here right now. It comes and goes, but if you Google McDonald's discrimination lawsuit, it should pull up this news story from Reuters. And let me bring it in so the camera get it out of there. I just printed this up here and it came out, but you can see the Reuters there and about this lawsuit. But yeah, if you're watching this live a couple days from now and you heard me talking about this discrimination lawsuit against McDonald's, all you have to do is go on Google, type in McDonald's discrimination lawsuit, Reuters, or there might be a couple other news agencies that are Associated Press, I should say, that have picked up on this story. But, this is something, again, this should be a top headline, on ABC World News Tonight and CNN and, Fox News. It's a point. Something major like this is going on. And yeah, it is big with the COVID-19 news. And we have a really contested presidential election. We're on the cusp of with Biden and current President Trump. And I get that. Okay, that's news. But there's stuff like this going on too. This should be a top headline. A top headline. Ugh. But I guess it. Huh. What are you gonna do? Oh, thank you for coming. Hello to you too. Oh, by the way, I mentioned it a few times and I forget to mention it. You want to call me host? That's fine. You want to call me infospot? That's cool. That's my channel name. But my name is Ed. So if you want to, call me Ed, that's my first name. My first name is Edward, and I just go by Ed for short. But yes, that is my name, Ed. But yeah, I'm fine with host or infospot. But before I get on to this story, here is a sad news story. Just something to talk about today. Was so funny. It's just one of those things. It's like, wow, just one of those days where they say that when SHIT goes wrong, it will really go wrong. So anyway, I was getting ready to do my live broadcast at 5 p.m. today, and all of a sudden it said like could not find webcam. My webcam wasn't working. And I tried troubleshooting it through the Dell website. I'm reading crap off of Reddit and WordPress on what to do with Dell Webcam Central. And I found my software disk when I bought this computer, my Dell laptop computer. I think it's 2011. I bought this. So I reinstalled it and it was showing it works, but I wasn't getting it to work. And YouTube wasn't connected. So I said, I wasted an hour. Let me do this till I can troubleshoot it in another day. Let me run up to Best Buy, and this story is going to get funny. Let me run up to Best Buy real quick. 5 minutes from my house. Just go buy like a Logitech web camera for like $15, So I get there, and I think it was like about 10 or 8 minutes after 6 p.m. Oh, we close at 6 p.m. I'm sorry, you can't come in. There's still some people in there that are leaving. So I was like, oh, SHIT. Let me go to Myers. And I live in Detroit, Michigan area, and the store Myers is very similar to Walmart. Anyway, I go to Myers where they have their computers and crap. So I'm looking around. I can't see a damn webcam, and I've seen them before. Logitech's one of the makers that makes those things. So I catch the lady over there. I was like, can you help me? I said, for the life of me, I can't find a freaking webcam. She says, hold on. She walks me over the house. She says, we're all out. This is where they're put. We're out. Says, okay. So then I drive over to this Walmart, go there, look around, don't see him. I talk to a guy. He walks again over the aisle. He goes, yeah, we're all out. He says, I got a few of them in last week, and I remember selling a couple. They go quick now. And then, long story short, I went to 2 other stores, sold out. So finally I said, well, I'll go home. I'll troubleshoot with my laptop camera a little more and see if I had luck. And what happened was I reinstalled this Dell webcam software as a Webcam Central, they call it. So when I read all this information, earlier, it said to uninstall the thing with this error message I had and click a reinstall. And then not only did I, rather than reinstall off the website, I had the freaking software disk, and I still had the stuff when I bought this, and I put it in there, and now it popped back up again, Dell Webcam Central. So I said, oh, cool. I'm back in business. Damn thing kept giving me this stupid error message. Like we on YouTube, we can't find the location for your integrated camera, blah, blah, blah. So, and I did a couple restarts. So finally I said, you know what? One last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to shut down my freaking computer and bring it back up. Now, I already ran my virus scan, my spyware. So anyway, my last ditch effort before I did the live, I shut down my computer, restarted it, when it was shut down, or turned it back on. And then once that got all done and Microsoft went through there, bing, 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 ding, 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 and my window came up. I went to Dell Webcam Central and I went, oh, praise the Lord. My webcam, it's working again. Yes. So that was my story today. I drove around for an hour and a half looking for a freaking webcamera and I couldn't find any. But hey, I'm in business. Stuff happens. What are you going to do? Okay, here we go. St. Louis police officer, the 8th officer shot since June, dies from his injuries. It's just sad, but I want to read it. A St. Louis police officer who was shot while responding to a call Saturday has died, making it the latest round of summer violence in the gateway city. Officer Tamaris Bohannon suffered a head wound. He was shot while responding to a late afternoon call involving a gunman. A gunman. They said, and here it says gunman, but I always refer to as gunman. After Bohannon was shot, one of the officers who was working to assist him was shot in the leg by the same suspect. The suspect then ordered a couple out of their home and barricaded himself in the house before police eventually were able to take him into custody, officials said. Bohannon was taken to an area hospital in critical condition, and he died just this past Sunday. It is with the heaviest of hearts we report that our critically injured officer has died, the St. Louis Police Department said in a statement. Bohannon was an 8th St. Louis police officer shot since the month of June. And here's his picture. Young, I didn't blow it up too big, but yeah, young black man, just shot in his prime and killed. Yeah, so yeah, very sad what's going on. Yeah. So Thomas Bohannon, rest in peace, and wish the best for your family. Really, I really, really do. So this is the picture of Officer Thomas Bohannon, shot and killed Sunday in a line of duty in St. Louis. Just a tragic situation. Just a lot of evil, sick people in this world, So, at any rate, okay. Thank you for coming. Oh, I don't look bad at all. Well, thanks. I just put these sunglasses on because my eyes, I have the bright lights here real close to me. So a lot of times I'll put this on with these lights right on me. And then sometimes I wear them when I'm doing some videos outside if the sun's real bright. Anyway, moving on here. This is kind of interesting. Now, I don't get too much into sports, but some things I'll touch on sports if it's an interesting topic to me or a news article. Same thing with politics. I try to stay with politics, but I'll touch on it, briefly with an article. Any rate, here we go. Venus Williams loses her first round of the U.S. Open for the first time. Venus Williams has lost in the opening round at the U.S. Open for the first time in her long career. It was a small, where am I here? Williams, that it was by appearing by a tournament. Williams was appearing in the tournament for the 22nd time. I got my glasses. I'm looking. All right, anyway. She broke the women's record in open air. So she holds the women's record for the woman who has won been in consecutive and won the most, not consecutive, but won the most first round of the U.S. Open. There's like rounds of the U.S. Open in tennis. So she held the record as far as women winning the most first rounds in the U.S. Open. Sister Serena was among the few spectators for the match. Serena won her opening match earlier in the day. The 40-year-old Venus was the oldest player in the draw. I'm not too sure what the draw means. Maybe, I don't know, means like the field or the group of players that are in the first round. I'm not a big tennis guy, but I do know the Williams sisters, and boy, oh boy, they just turned tennis upside down on its head. Oh, okay, no problem, Life of Naya. Anyway, let me show you the picture. Here's Venus Williams right here. But yeah, she finally I don't want to say she finally, but this was her first time losing in the first round. All the years of her playing tennis and in the US Open, the US Open. The very first time in the US Open she got lost in the first round. But being 40 years old, it's tough when you're going to that speed. And I'm not a big tennis person, but man, you got to have that speed back and forth and side to side on the court, big time. And I'm sure, just like the NFL players that are like wide receivers, once they start hitting the mid 30s, it's tough for them to keep up with the, with the young folks coming in that are in their early 20s. So I still think that that's pretty cool. Why I wanted to talk about this. Here she is, 40 years old, and she's held the most consecutive first round wins by a female in the U.S. Open. But this is the very first time. But it all had to go all the way till she was 40 years old. So I don't know if tennis does like golf and they run a seniors thing coming up. Not saying she's a senior now, but in 10 years when she's 50, she might have to compete in the seniors. I know bowling and golf do it. I'm not too up and up on tennis, but anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Boy, both those sisters just were so good in tennis, and it was pretty much a dead sport in a sense, where it wasn't even close to the viewership and all the buzz that they brought to it. Basically, what the Williams sisters did to tennis is what Tiger Woods has done to golf. I mean, when Tiger Woods came in golf in the late 90s on the scene, he won the Masters. I think it was 97, 98. Back in the mid and early 90s, and I say this because my grandpa was, when he was alive, was on my mom's side of the family, was an avid golfer, big time golfer. And the senior PGA, which stands for Professional Golf Association, was bringing in more ratings than the regular PGA tournament pre-Tiger Woods. A lot of people were identifying to Jack Nicklaus coming in there, Lee Trevino, Arnold Palmer, and there's a number of these old guys that came in. But it took Tiger Woods when he came on the scene, man. Boom. Before I get the next story, is talking about Tiger Woods, I got a funny story here to tell you about Tiger Woods and how big he is for that sport of golfing. Gosh, I think it was 2004 to like about 08. I used to live up by Flint, Michigan. I was literally about, I think, a mile and a half from Flint, Michigan. Anyway, there is a city, Grand Blanc, which is just south of Flint, Michigan. And each year they held an event. It was the Buick Invitational. And I think they changed the name at one point or another, the Buick Open. And when it was usually that Buick Invitational golf event was the week before the PGA Championship, which is the fourth and final major for the season. There's four majors: the Masters, U.S. Open, British Open, and PGA Championship. But this is my point, talking about how huge Tiger Woods is. So anyway, where this Buick Invitational was, and this is back around, I think, 2005 or 06, when I was up by Flint. When Tiger Woods would come, I'm talking hotels were sold out everywhere and for miles and miles. I mean, everything was sold out as far as tickets to get in on the golf field there in Grand Blanc for that Buick Invitational just to see freaking Tiger Woods. And businesses, I mean, just that like 2 or 3 days before that event when Tiger came in, leading up through that weekend, made out like bandits. Anyway, I think it was in 05 or 06. Tiger had some very like minor injury Tiger Woods had a minor injury, or it was his calf muscle or his knee was bothering him real bad. And so he took off the week before the 2 weeks, he was off for a couple of weeks, and the Buick Invitational is coming up. So Tiger came out the last minute and he announced, like, I think this is about 5 days before, he said that I'm going to be passing up on the Buick Invitational because I'm just starting to feel better, and I want to be in the best health that I could possibly be to have a shot at winning that PGA championship. So he passed on the Buick Invitational. Oh my Lord. I mean, it was about, I think I read it was in the Flint Journal that they hit that year half of the attendance that they did the previous 5 or 6 years when Tiger Woods was there. Close to half of the attendance when I was reading about it in the Flint Journal. When he announced he ain't coming, the people that showed up were only about half as much because he was just that huge for the sport of golf, just like the Williams sisters are for tennis. Let me check the chat here, everybody. Okay, not too much going on. Okay, no problem. A few other things to talk about here. Oh boy, talk about, well, I guess there's an old term I've heard, you can't fix stupid, you know. Anyway, let me talk about this one here. This is in New Jersey, Sickerville. Now this is the name of the township or the city, Sicklerville. Homeowner charged for hosting for-profit pool party with 300 unmasked guests. So I guess this right here was all his, like, he had all these canopies and stuff set up right here. So, Sickerville, New Jersey. A New Jersey homeowner has been charged after hosting, I'm sorry. I tell you, I'm having a tongue twister with this hoisting and hosting. Let me start again. My bad. A New Jersey homeowner has been charged after hosting a large pool party that officials say was for profit with unmasked guests. Officials responded to the 1500 block of Jarvis Road in Sicklerville on August 30th after receiving several calls of a large party. So the police officers got a lot of calls complaining about this large party going on. Arriving officers found several vehicles parked throughout the local neighborhoods and a school. Now, security guards reportedly told officials it was a family party, but officials estimated there were 250 to 300 attendees, and none of them were wearing masks. Attendees told officials they were charged $100 to $150 for the party. So to come to this party was $100 to $150 that the party that the cops had to break up. The 56-year-old homeowner was issued citations for noise violation. Where is it? Littering on the street, disturbing the peace, and what else do we got here? Oh, after the street, residents was covered with trash and broken bottles. So he got a disturbing the peace, noise violation. Boy, they hit him up big time. An investigation is ongoing, and the homeowner may also be charged for violating Governor Phil Murphy's executive order because officials witnessed party goers were not social distancing. Officials also issued a total of 25 parking summons and 5 motor vehicle stops because of several vehicles are blocking the residents' driveways and stuff. Now that I could understand completely. If there's some party or shindig going on and some idiot's going to block someone's driveway, you know, what if I'm trying to get to work and it's something important and that's my only freaking way out, and some idiot has their car parked and there's like 250 people at a party, you know. It reminded me of a time, true story. It was just a couple years ago, as a matter of fact. I went to a funeral. And I knew this lady. And anyway, so I come out of the funeral, you know, gosh, I want to say this. I was in there for a little over an hour. And then some of the family were having a private meet and greet and that. And I come out of the church. So I go to get my car. Now, it was a kind of like sort of a small lot, but right across the street was this paid parking lot for like $1.50. You could park all day. Oh, no. People that were showing up at the last minute, they didn't get in the free parking lot. So what does one idiot do? She parks her. She's got this GMC Jimmy or Chevy Blazer, a nice size SUV. Parks her right behind my freaking car. Luckily, I was just off that day. She comes out and says, "Oh, my bad. I thought I'd be out of here much earlier." I says, "Well, good thing I didn't have to go to work. I don't have anything important going on." And then she got in the car. I'm sorry. He gets her car. Then she's like, "Oh, come on, kids." Blah, 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 blah. For a couple minutes before she moves her car. No, you ain't. This lady wasn't sorry. She was sorry that she did, in surprise that I was out there before she was. But I mean, the nerve and the gall of someone to park their car like that and then block in my car. I can understand why some neighbors are really ticked off, when they might have to go somewhere for whatever rhyme or reason. And some idiot has them blocked in because they're at some house party. Now, my other problem with this is, let me get a drink here. My other big problem with this is, they're not wearing any mask. All it takes is one COVID-19 positive person, and there's 250? Let me check this again here. Yeah, 250 to 300 attendees. So that's 250 to 300 people there. All it takes, and nobody's wearing masks. They're all by a pool. Now, granted, I printed this up in black and white. I was at work when I printed this up on my break, so sorry I didn't get it in color, but I'll describe it. But yeah, this is an aerial photo. This is the big pool in the backyard here with the party, and they got like a big pavilion tent set up and that. But here's my thing. My biggest problem with this, why it's so freaking stupid. You get one person there who's COVID-19 positive and doesn't know it. A lot of people are getting this and doing just, they don't know it. But if they spread it to somebody else, somebody can end up on a freaking ventilator. So, and on top of this, I might have some understanding if this was a family wedding, it was something real important. You couldn't get a hall anywhere and you just use some bad judgment. No. This guy's trying to run like a frat party here, charging people $100 to $150 to come out and hop in the pool and I imagine eat and drink and have a fun time. Whoa. And no one's wearing masks. Now, let's say out of that 300, someone's COVID-19 positive, and there's 50 more people that catch it out of that 250 to 300. And then where they're going to go and spread it to this, spread it, but you got to stop that chain reaction, but it's using some good judgment, why he would be stupid enough to do this, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's hurting and needs some money. But, come on, have enough freaking common sense to say, hey, we have something called COVID-19. If you put the news on, there's a problem. Oh, there is? What is it? Yeah, everybody's dying, and the ones who aren't are on ventilators in the hospital. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think that'd be a great idea to have a party with 250 people over without any mask and jumping in and out of pool and drinking and eating. Yeah, but I can make a lot of money. But you could kill a lot of people. Yeah, but I can make a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, I'm being a little sarcastic and just having fun here, guys. But, what the hell are you thinking? Oh, my Lord. It's one thing being somewhat greedy, okay, and doing something. You're like, okay. Yeah, we're not supposed to have gambling here. That could be illegal. But, this is a big party. we're going to play dominoes or playing poker, let the money fly, or doing something. But when you got a major COVID-19 outbreak and you're bringing 300 people in a backyard at some house for a freaking pool party, oh, I don't know. I see a couple of people are in here right now. If you want to say anything about this, feel free. I'd love to hear your opinion on it. If not, I'll keep moving on here. But yeah, just stupid, man. I think I said that earlier. Sometimes you can't fix stupid, you know. You could try. You can always try, but you can't. Any rate, I'm going to read this before I wrap up the show here tonight, and I'll talk about it maybe some, and we'll have some general conversation. And as well, for you guys watching, this is pretty cool here. The 20 most popular websites for 2020. The average person now spends, get a load of this, the average person now spends over 6 hours per day online, a statistic that continues to rise for the year 2020. Okay, here we go. The 20 most popular websites for 2020. What I'll do is I think I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to start from like number 20 and work my way down to 1. Okay, number 20, most popular website so far in 2020, okay, is Chase Bank. Chase Bank is huge. One of the big 4 banks in the United States, Chase manages nearly $3 trillion in assets and runs over 5,000 branches across the country, meaning United States. So that's a big reason why they're the most, when it comes to the most popular websites, they come in at number 20. Okay, 19. This has got split on the paper here. Okay, here we go. Number 19 is the New York Times. Everyone's heard of the New York Times. Though frequently lambasted as failing, the New York Times has turned its fortunes around over the past several years. Currently, the news media company boasts 4.5 million subscribers with more than 3.5 million users paying for one or more of its publications online and paper, you know, meaning that's how many people they got, you know, from online and paper, New York Times. So their website racks it up at number 19. It rings in at number 19, most popular website for 2020, New York Times, and number 20 is Chase Bank. Okay, let's keep it moving. Number 18, Intuit. Wow, I never heard of this Intuit, but anyway, I'll read here what it's about. An online platform that caters to small businesses, Intuit offers accounting, financial, and tax preparation software. Well, that's it. I haven't owned a small business, so okay, that rings at number 18. Now, you've heard of this one. I'm sure you have. The 17th most popular website is Instagram. Yes. One of the most popular social media websites on the planet. And then it gets into a little brief bio about Facebook and Zuckerberg and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, the 17th most popular website, Instagram. Okay, number 16. LinkedIn. Now, I've heard of this. One of the most attractive professional networking sites on the web. LinkedIn, a subsidiary of Microsoft. Okay. I think that LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken, is one of those ones like careerbuilder.com where you post your resume. Post your resume. And as well as like certain people or small businesses looking for somebody, let's say like a licensed electrician, you know, they might put it in that LinkedIn. Anyway, that came in at number 16. Let me flip this over, everybody. 15. You'll know this one. The 15th most popular website so far in 2020 is CNN. Ted Turner launched the cable news network CNN in 1980. At that time, it was the first United States channel to offer 24-hour news coverage. Real quick with CNN, what comes to my mind was I was in high school. I think it was 10th grade, but when they had that Gulf War of 1990 and 91, and the first, it was referred to as Desert Shield, Desert Storm, the two phases of the Gulf War. But everybody was glued to CNN. Other than if you happen to be, let's say you got done eating dinner, at like 10 to 6, and it was ABC World News or NBC World News coming on, we'd flip over and find out the latest what was going on. But I'll never forget, it was like a whole different ball of wax. You didn't have to catch the 11 o'clock news or 5 o'clock news with that Gulf War in 1991. You just flipped on that CNN, and you'd see Coleman Powell and Schwarzkopf. They would be talking about what's going on. But that's one of my big memories of CNN anyway. 14. Now, I've heard of this website, Twitch. The 14th most popular website of 2020 is Twitch, a subsidiary of Amazon. So Amazon owns Twitch. Twitch clicked onto the scene in 2011, a live streaming site that is popular among video game enthusiasts. Twitch now broadcasts, exports events and tournaments in addition to personal streams of account holders. So that probably runs similar to YouTube. If it's talking about they can run like live broadcast and streaming. So number 14th most popular website in 2020, Twitch. Number 13, Shopify allows businesses and entrepreneurs to build digital storefronts. The Canadian company offers several helpful features, including marketing, reporting, payment processing, shipping services, and various customer engagement tools. Shopify. Now, that's something you could probably ask the TV show if you're listening to me now, Life of Naya. Be a good trivia question. You can flip the tables on them. Say, what Canadian company has the 13th most popular website? All right, anyway. We're moving along. We're getting into the top 10 here shortly. I tell you. This is the 20 most popular websites in America so far in 2020. Okay, number 12. Instructure. Instructure may not be a household name, but this educational technology company ranks as the 12th most accessed online platform for 2020. Interesting. Okay. Okay, number 11, Office. This is Microsoft Office it's referring to. A lightweight, cloud-based suite of Microsoft Office products. So I guess Microsoft just refers to it as Office, but that is, I believe Office is the same thing as like the products you could buy, let's say when you go to Walmart or Best Buy, the Home and Student Microsoft Office, Home and Student Microsoft Office Professional. What else did it say here? Oh, yeah, yep, that's it. Reading further, it says here, including Word, that's Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint. Yep. Okay, moving on. All righty. Number 9. Oh, I've used this sometimes. When certain things I might need, I flip over to this website from Google. Microsoft's Bing comes in at number 9 most popular website so far in 2020. Microsoft's Bing might not be the most searched engine, meaning search engine in the world, but it's climbing the charts. Bing is the third most used search engine in the world behind only Google and China, some Baidu, some other websites, search engine out of China anyway. It's third behind Google and this one in China. About 33% of Americans fire up to Bing for their online searches. Additionally, Yahoo uses the Bing engine for several platforms and products. So number 9 is Bing, most popular website in 2020. Number 8, this is one that I'm on often. eBay, or how do they say that? eBay. There was some kind of funny commercial they did. At any rate, today the e-commerce corporation has offices in 30 countries. eBay boasts 138 million accounts, and nearly 35% of U.S. mobile users have downloaded the company's app onto their phones. eBay is headquartered in San Jose, California, and claims over $10 billion in revenue for its last reporting round. Wow, $10 billion in revenue with Bing, and that's just their last round, meaning like a quarter. They split up in 4 quarters, 3 months. Major money eBay's making. Oh, yes. Number 7, this is one I go on often. Wikipedia. Wikipedia.org is an online auction. I'm sorry. I'm reading eBay. My bad. I'm looking down here. I'm reading online auction. I'm reading the eBay thing. I'm sorry. Let me get back to Wikipedia, everybody. My apologies. Wikipedia.org is an online encyclopedia that houses articles on nearly every historical event, location, and topic you could think of. Every day, the site gets over 13.89 million visits. Basically, it's almost 14 million visits per day. That's people clicking on the Wikipedia, making it one of the most popular websites, in 2020. At number 7 is Wikipedia. And I use Wikipedia a lot. A lot of times, too, it's to find out some stuff once in a while about somebody or something, as well as clearing up some facts, man. Oh, yeah, to clear up some facts. You know what it is? This brightness, I got to change this light. I mean, not brightness, but it's getting a little dim. I just have to change the battery in my light. Oh. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Let's get bright. All right. You'll probably notice the difference now. My little pillow here. Okay. Okay, flipping over. All right, we're getting down here. Number 6 now. Yeah, but real quick before I get to number 6, Wikipedia. I love that a lot. Where if I hear about some actor, you're like, wow, I haven't seen this actor in a long time in a movie, or you hear something. Wikipedia is usually the great source I'll go to, or like with somebody might have a conversation like, hey, I wonder why. I know Kmart went bankrupt. When did it go bankrupt? When was the last store closed? What happened? Man, you go on Wikipedia, you'll find out all the information you want on Kmart, but it's a great information source. Big time. Okay, number 6, most popular website in 2020, Reddit. Reddit.com claims that it is the front page of the internet. Created as a site for social sharing and social interaction, Reddit.com has become extremely popular among internet users of all age groups. Yeah, I've gone on Reddit like when I was troubleshooting about with my Dell webcam. It was WordPress and then Reddit, I think. Reddit, and there was something else, WordPress posting. But yeah, Reddit's kind of unique. What I like about it is it'll be something like you're not sure about something on your computer or how to do this or how to do that. You'll find a lot of people will put a post into Reddit, exchange information from others. So it's just cool. All right, number 5 is Yahoo. Yep, Yahoo came in at number 5, most popular website so far in 2020. Still going strong is Yahoo.com. I'm reading the article here. Yahoo was the leading search engine and news source for a very long time and can still hold its own as one of the most popular websites online. The model has changed a bit, however, as it is recently has found more traction for news, articles, finance, etc., versus being purely a search engine. Now, at number 5 here, let me get a sip of my Snapple. With Yahoo, one thing, man, I really miss about Yahoo, back in the early 2000s, I mean, Yahoo was freaking king. When fantasy football first came out online, it was through Yahoo. But there's some big things that happened with Yahoo before Google just took over. Is that they used to have, I think it was called the Yahoo Chat, and it was like chat groups. And I still have in my file cabinet this really cheap microphone I bought for my old desktop computer. And this was still back in the day before I had the high-speed internet. I had that dial-up. But you could go on there, and they had all kinds of different chat rooms, and then you could start your own chat room on whatever topic. So, like, someone might have a chat room going, and they're talking all NASCAR. Say NASCAR chat. There'll be some race, Talladega's coming up, and then a lady over in another chat room, it'll say Christian values Sunday night talk. And you would click on that chat, whoever created that chat room, and you can get in there. It's similar to this, but you didn't see who's who. You just saw that it's the subject of the chat room, and you would see what people would type in there, and as well as who's ever hosting it. There was a feature to click on their mic so they could talk into it. Yeah, but they used to have a really cool chat thing, and then that went bye-bye. The other thing they had was a Yahoo Personals, which was huge for a quick minute in the early 2000s. But I believe by like the later 2000s, they sold that off to that Match.com or not Farmers Only, is Match.com or that Christian Singles thing. One of them, anyway. Yeah, that went bye-bye. So, yeah, they made some changes, but they're still here at number 5. Okay, 4 more to go, everybody. Here we go. Number 4, Facebook. Facebook is a leading social media platform across the world. Every month, the website boasts an impressive 2.37 billion users. Holy smoke. 1.66 billion people on average log in daily. Facebook, daily are considered. Woo. So it's saying here pretty much it's a daily thing for users, and 2.37 billion users. Wow, every month. Woo. But the thing I'll say about Facebook, what I remember when it first came out was before Facebook, I think it was around 2000, early 2005 or late 2004. And it was big for a few years, was that website MySpace. And it was somewhat similar to Facebook, the MySpace. But Facebook, when that came out, it just took over. It stole the show. MySpace was like a thing of the freaking past. No, it was a thing of the past. Nobody, I mean, the thing just died out like a quick death when Facebook just, I don't even know if it's still around anymore. But anyway, okay. Let me finish the list here. Number 3, you all know this, Amazon. Down one spot from 2019, Amazon is still one of the top 3 most popular websites on the internet and dominates the online shopping world. That it does. So, yeah, it used to be at number 2, but it moved back to 3, Amazon. Okay, 2 more to go. Most popular websites so far in 2020. Number 2. Well, I got 2 people here. Can anybody take a guess at the number 2 most popular website is so far in 2020? No. Okay. It is YouTube. Yes, it is. This website jumped the list 2 spots this year as its impressive starts continued to climb. Almost 5 billion videos are watched on YouTube every single day. Wow. YouTube gets over 30 million visitors per day. Every minute, over 300 minutes of video are uploaded on YouTube. So, yeah, that's YouTube's the number out of the most popular websites in 2020. YouTube comes in at number 2. Number 1, here we go. Google. Yes, Google. There is no doubt that Google is the most powerful search engine. But this year it remains at the top spot as most recent popular websites. So yeah, you can Google that's a given right there. Biggest search engine website, most popular. Well, that you could kind of beg to differ a little bit. Say, some people say, well, Google's not actually a website; it's a search engine. But I'm going off this article here from July of 2020. Let me flip this around so you can see 20 most popular websites for 2020, and Google's on it. So made the top spot. Yes, it did. Well, let me put this all here. I'll just set this all over here. That's it. It's the stuff I had to talk about today, and then just my nightmare of I got my webcam on my computer back up and working, thank God. Otherwise, I'd have to order one and wait for it to come. But I might order one, too, anyway, just as a backup if I have another issue with my webcam, But when I was at the, I think I forget, it was one of the Myers, the Walmarts. But anyway, the guy was telling me, he says, with everybody doing this work at home, especially with these kids, a lot of them now are doing the well, please wait, trying reconnection. Okay. So, there we go. I'm back. All right. I was just waiting. Once in a while when I'm using my Wi-Fi, I get those messages, your connection is unstable, but that's just probably my Wi-Fi signal. Oh, you know what? Let me put a note in here and thank everybody for coming. Now, I didn't have too many tonight. Servant David, Victory Yay, Life Anaya, who's this? Miss Antabi TV. I'm not gonna do a tribute video, with what we have 4 or 5 people here. But I will say this. I know who you are, and now because of you guys help, really showing love for my channel. Anyway, I got 1,000 subscribers, and it probably won't be long. I will get the community tab on my channel, and that's a little different than me using that community center playlist. The community tab, I could put your channel in there, your video, and some information. But yeah, I'll hit you back. And then, as you probably know, like Victory Yay, Life of Naya, Raw, I see you were here earlier too. Believe me, I do try to come over every once in a while. If I don't get it right away, I will. I always believe in, doing right by the ones that do right by you. So I'll be over there to visit your channel, and no problem. Any rate, what was I thinking? Oh, that's what it is. My next live stream, or live broadcast / live stream, Might be this weekend here. I'll see how things go. I got kind of a hectic work schedule. That's why actually I'm starting a little bit early tonight. Usually I do a late night show. I'm starting, as you got a lot of you know me, around 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm running that sucker to the 2 or so in the morning. But tonight I started a little bit before, was it 9 o'clock or something like that? I started at around. Anyway, yeah, so I started a little bit earlier tonight, and I had some interesting topics to talk about. Hey, before I wrap this up, a couple people here. Is anybody have a question or something they want to say at all? No? Okay. Um, Before I wrap up, was a couple other things. Oh, yes, again, I always remind it, and if you're watching this live stream, information's there. If you want to get a hold of me, with you have a question, a comment, concern, whatever, you can reach me at infospot411 at yahoo.com. That's infospot411 at yahoo.com. And if you're not able to write it down, don't worry about trying to remember it. All you got to do, just click on my YouTube channel homepage, and in the far tab there, it says about. Right there, you click that on, it'll have, boom, my email address is right there. So if anybody wants to, like I say, get a hold of me privately, you don't want something in the chat or description box, just send me an email. But I am deadbeat tired. I see just a couple of people are here. I had some good stuff I felt I wanted to go over tonight. And again, thank you everybody so much, not just for this 1K subscriber, but just showing up on my lives. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You rock. So I'm going to say this. That's what I almost forgot too. I will have some product review. I got a product review and not a drink review, but it's another video in the works. So I'll have some videos coming, especially I know a lot of people watching this like, hey, InfoSpot, when you going to do some more product reviews? It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yes, it is. All right. Anyway, as I like to say, and I say this because I mean it, stay safe and enjoy life, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight and checking out the late night show.